Well, Mikel Arteta has laid a tough ultimatum for the return of Thomas Partey into the Arsenal training. And obviously, Thomas Partey is fighting hard to see to it that he makes it to the match of Leicester City, a game that they're going to play away on Saturday. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner is the place to be. And second, Elneny has committed to Arsenal for further one more year. Remember, he signed a new contract of 1 year with another option year, and obviously is going to head to commit his future to Arsenal. Those are the two stories we are going to tackle onto this beat that most of you are really eagerly waiting for. The biggest question in the land is all about Thomas Partey and when is expected to return to the first 11 of Arsenal. Can I ask this question? Is there any Arsenal fan who's still doubtful of Jorginho when Partey is away? I believe Thomas Partey is a very good player, and I think he's one of the best CDMs in the world. But Jorginho coming in through and putting in those two super performances against Manchester City and Aston Villa, I think he gave you a relief of breath. Not so? I think you're now relieved, Arsenal fans, because you know that even if Partey is away, you have someone who can come in through and do the job that Thomas Partey does. And this is what it meant, signing in a player who is Premier League ready. Premier League ready players are really helping us. Look at Trossard and how he's playing. He's really doing a very amazing job at Arsenal. And he's giving Mikel Arteta a chance to rotate his players, because it was very hard in the first half of the season for Mikel Arteta to make even a change in the Trossard position, in the Martinelli position. That's why Martinelli looked like he had been dropping off because he was naked. He never had anything left in him because he was being played game in, game out. He went to the World Cup, played there, and obviously he returned and looked like he's not the Martinelli he was before the beginning of the World Cup. So, Thomas Partey, an update has been issued from the man known as S.R. Collins. You know him, he's an Arsenal correspondent for the Evening Standard, and this is what he had to let us know about the Thomas Partey situation. And now he has gone ahead and really told us the following about Thomas Partey and what is really coming in from the side of Arsenal. And I trust him very well because he covers Arsenal and he's being fed in by the club, meaning that he's getting his news from the source of the club. He has told us that Arsenal will assess Thomas Partey this week and continue to be cautious over his involvement with the timescale tight on whether he can be in the squad to face Leicester. The club will not rush him back with Jorginho's arrival, easing the pressure to do so. Now, for me, rushing Thomas Partey back will be bad. You know, if you repeat the same mistake that costed you something, then there is no way you are going to opt yourself from being called a fool. Mikel Arteta made a fool of himself after Thomas Partey got himself injured in the game of Man City that he played in the FA Cup 4th round. Thomas Partey had a ribs injury. He only played 45 minutes. He took him off the field of play. What Mikel Arteta did, he rushed him back in the game of Everton when he had Jorginho. I came out and called out that mistake, that you don't risk your best player in the midfield in a game of Everton. You don't risk him, because even when Thomas Partey was there, he never looked like he was beneficial to Arsenal. Onana, Dokore, and Idrissa Gueye won over the midfield battle, and Partey had nothing to do. That's why in the 58th minute, the manager took him off and bring on Jorginho, but Jorginho came in through and couldn't really turn around anything because the entire Arsenal team was playing very ugly. He plays him in the game of Brentford again, and guess what? Arteta misses him out on the most important game of the season so far for Arsenal when they are playing Manchester City. I believe you put Thomas Partey into that team, Arsenal is a much more better team. Though he doesn't stop Arsenal from conceding the 3 goals, but I believe because Jorginho had not yet gotten the cohesion and rhythm with his fellow Arsenal players, I think in that game of City, that's why he played. For me, he was the better player, but he never really played as played against Aston Villa because Arsenal had the lion's share of the possession. But you won't come out and moan about that, because that game has helped Jorginho to really be so much in tune with fellow Arsenal players, and you saw how he played against Aston Villa. And now, I don't believe in rushing Thomas Partey back. I don't believe in rushing him back. And if Mikel Arteta does it, I will go ahead and really call him a big fool. I'm sorry to say so. I'm not a person who is so insultive, but if at all he repeats the same mistake he did after that Man City game of the FA Cup and brings back Thomas Partey and hurries him back, I'll call him a fool, because I see no reason as to why Thomas Partey should be hurried back. Arsenal's next fixture, they are playing Leicester City away and they are playing Bournemouth at home. Let Thomas Partey have his rest. Let him heal fully, such that he returns when Arsenal is going to play the game of Liverpool. I think that will be a better boost for Arsenal as far as this game of football is concerned. And that's why Simon Collins telling us that Thomas Partey is going to be assessed and continue to be cautious over his involvement. They should be cautious a lot, because this is one of the best players in the league when it comes to playing into that single pivot, alongside Casemiro, Rodri, and the likes of the Enzo Fernandezes. He's good. He's good. He's good to that level. He's good to that level that you need him every time you are really going to play against your big side. And I've always told you on this channel that I rather start Partey and Jorginho in the same team, obviously, to see to it that Arsenal really has a very good holding midfield pivot, or else get Xhaka out, play Jorginho as a single pivot, then let Partey thrive into that box-to-box role like Xhaka does, because I believe Partey does that better at the Ghanaian national team. He plays as a classic number 10, and he's really one of those that has gone ahead to thrive in those positions. Now, the club will not rush him back with Jorginho's arrival, easing the pressure to do so. Obviously, that is the beauty of Jorginho coming in through. And now you know why Jorginho is at the club of Arsenal. And all those Jorginho haters, you should sit down, relax, and float. Because Jorginho is a different specimen from Thomas Partey. Because the way he really plays his single pivot is different from the way Partey does it. Partey has the physical attributes. You get combustion. He's really great. The checkmates. But when you look at the way Jorginho enables making the same stats that Partey does in defending Arsenal and shielding the back four, you wonder, because Jorginho is not a physical player, but his game reading and football intelligence is way up there, that he read the run of the opponent and try to intercept it or block it. And you've seen it. You've seen him do it in very many games of a team called Arsenal. So to me, I believe Jorginho is the deal, and he's going to go on and really play for this Arsenal side for very many times, because he's not an injury-prone player. Now, Arsenal look like they're having another person they can trust in that midfield. And I liked it a lot when Jorginho scored the goal, because no one would have gone ahead to really... Sorry, he never scored that goal, but he hit it. It rattled off the crossbar. It deflected off the head of Emiliano Martinez, and it really went into the back of the net. It crossed the line. That's Jorginho for you. Now, I liked it when he did that, because that's when Arsenal fans were awakened up, because most of them never appreciated the coming in of Jorginho, that they are wanting Moise Caicedo. I believe Caicedo is a very good player, but in the condition where Arsenal is right now, they needed the experience of Jorginho. He's a winner. He has won the UEFA Europa League, Carabao, UEFA Europa League, Champions League. He has the Euros, FIFA World Cup, and very many other accolades attached onto his name. And he's really a very good player that you guys should go ahead and really reckon with, because this guy is just a blessing, and getting him is a blessing. I've seen him come out and really put out statements how Chelsea have told him that we're not going to give you a new contract. Everything is going to get done and dusted. And I think because Mikel Arteta wanted this player for so long when he was at Manchester City, but Chelsea hijacked the deal, he said, I need this player. And I think he's a perfect backup for Thomas Partey in these games. And I think Arsenal fans should be so much amazed with the presence of Jorginho, because now Thomas Partey won't be forced to play every game, because there are certain games you're not supposed to play Thomas Partey. You get, when you're playing Brentford, rest Partey, because you know in the midweek you're going to play Man City. You get, when you're going to play Liverpool, there is a game Arsenal is going to play. Is it going to play West Ham before they play Liverpool? So I think you don't need to really bring in your players and really like Thomas Partey and put them online to really get injured. But I think it was a very good game of football against Aston Villa, and Arsenal are really weighing into it that they want to see Thomas Partey back in the game of Leicester, but they won't hurry him back because Jorginho is going to get the job done and dusted. Good of Mikel Arteta, and it's always said that any wise person understands his mistake and obviously goes ahead to not do it again. Now, Elneny, another CDM at Arsenal, who is out injured, has gone ahead to trigger that 1 year he had on his contract, and Arsenal midfielder Mohamed Elneny has extended his contract with the club until 2024. Another year for Elneny at the Emirates. That is Elneny for you, putting pen to paper some of the photos that were released by the website of Arsenal. And he had the following to say after extending or triggering that 1 year on his contract. He said, sorry about that, I'm so happy. I love this club and our supporters so much, and I will give everything to help us be the best we can. Every day I'm here. And I think this season is when I've seen Elneny being disturbed by injuries a lot. In a space of just 2 months, Elneny has found himself under 2 surgeries. You get one of the knee, and I think now he's having a hamstring. So it's keeping him out for another long period of time that we don't know he's going to be out for here until the Rokani Media Football. Now, Elneny has also gone ahead and really told us something about him being the longest player at Arsenal available right now. He's the longest serving player at Arsenal right now. He has said, it takes me so much proud to have represented this amazing club since 2016. The spirit and togetherness we have in our squad right now is so positive, and I'm so happy I have extended my contract. And now this plays well in the arms of Arsenal because the player known as Elneny was going to be a free agent if at all they never triggered this contract. But I believe they've triggered the contract, and already his former manager at Arsenal as Unai Emery is sending signals to him that I want to sign you to my club. And the reason as to why he was not signed the January transfer window, it's because he got an injury. If he had not gotten an injury, Arsenal were going to sell the player. And I think they've triggered this 1 year because they at least want to get some money from him, and they don't want to see him go all out for free. That is Jorginho for you, a player that has gone ahead to play for Arsenal since 2016. He was signed by Arsene Wenger, the Egyptian, in there for you, who was brought at Arsenal and really looked very good. But his spells at Arsenal have been blowing hot and cold because he never looked like good enough to be a permanent or consistent starter into that single pivot of Arsenal. But he's a very good player. But injuries have been really decorated in his entire career at Arsenal, and that's why he's really missing out on a lot of action. That's why players like Thomas Partey, Jorginho are really so much important when it comes to this era of Arsenal, because you need a player of that stature into your team who is not injury prone. Thomas Partey, kudos to him this season, because I've seen him be there for very many times, because the last time Thomas Partey got an injury, he missed out on the games of Brentford. No, he missed out on the games of Manchester United at Old Trafford, Aston Villa and Fulham, 3 games. And ever since then he returned after the death of the Queen. He played against Brentford. He has never missed out on any Arsenal game until he missed out on the game of City when he was really injured. So I believe this is a very good movement for Arsenal, and Elneny is really going to help them get in some money and facilitate what we call the financial fair play constrictions and rules, because your books need to balance. Your books need to balance everywhere if at all you are to surpass that financial fair play rule, and Arsenal want to get some good money out of Elneny. Now, Elneny on Instagram has said, a new chapter begins in my journey with Arsenal. Arsenal for me isn't just a club. I joined 7 years ago, which makes me the longest serving player currently. Arsenal is a home, family, happiness, growth and ambition. My Arsenal family, I love you. That's what Jorginho has gone, not Jorginho, it's Jorginho is all over my head because he's really putting in very fantastic performances. I'm talking about Elneny coming in from Egypt, and obviously he's the longest serving player at Arsenal. And he had a chance to really take a photo with the Arsenal sporting director Edu and Mikel Arteta, and there they are as they do their job. That is Elneny, Arteta, and Edu Gaspar. So that is it for Elneny, and his Arsenal side has gone ahead to renew his contract. So guys, I call upon your thoughts on Mikel Arteta taking a Thomas Partey tough return decision. What are your thoughts about it? Do you think he should be forced to return back, or he should let Jorginho play until this player returns? Your thoughts are welcome in the comment section below. And why do you think Arsenal renewed or triggered the contract of Elneny, an injury-prone player who has proven to be so ever since Arsenal gave him a contract of 2 years? Because Galatasaray were going to sign him on a free. Mikel Arteta said, I have to sign this player 1 year and another option. 1 year has elapsed. You see how time really flies out. 1 year is done, and obviously he's left with 1 year triggered, and Arsenal look like want to get some good money out of him. Are you Arsenal fans happy about Arsenal triggering that 1 year, or they would have let him go on a free transfer? May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. Smash the like button, comment, and share. Let's see close to 200 likes on this video, and let us spread the love by sharing. And then don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I sign out for now. See you later, my lovely mates.